This is the New American Media.
All right, back live. Brian Engelman over here at the New American Media, joined with Blake the Eccentric Walley, radio host from Eccentric Perspective. You can find him Monday, Wednesday, Thursday on the freedomizerradio.com. That's freedomizerradio.com website, and you can sign up for his podcast by searching Eccentric Perspective. Blake, I kind of teased this question of the day a second ago. Favorite dystopian TV shows or movies? You know, because with Halloween, I'm not a big horror film. To me, the best horror films are the ones that you know, talk about some of the worst case future scenarios for the country and the planet, the universe as it were. To me, those are the horror films I like to watch because I try to look for signs of how to avoid it from happening,
Right.
or prevent it from happening and avoid seeing that happen. So, any that come to mind? Would you say The Road, right off at the top of your head?
Yeah, The Road is probably the worst. I've heard the book. Well, it's a fantastic movie. I mean, it's like a worst case scenario, and I've heard the book is even taking it a step even farther. So people want to go check that out if you want to talk about a grim reality that's plausible. That would be one. That would probably be the most extreme example I could think of. Book of Eli would be
yes.
good one. I suppose probably The Road Warrior. Those are things I frequently put out there. Then you can even look at like stuff like The Running Man or
I don't want to take any.
You
No,
throw
I don't.
a couple at me, and I'll
So
chime back in.
I think 1984.
Oh yeah, 1984.
The Terminator movies, Jericho, the TV show.
I didn't really catch Jericho, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Terminator, where you have drones in the skies and perpetual warfare against the people, and they have to go underground, and wow, how close are we getting to that? But with this LAX story, I started thinking about the Minority Report. It's so early, and I have no idea what the details of this stupid shooter are. I really don't even like learning their names. I don't like putting too much stock in stuff like this. But the Minority Report. I don't know, just the whole pre-crime division of trying to figure out who could potentially be dangerous, and let's just preemptively go get them. Those are the things that are horror movies to me, Blake.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, Minority Report is an excellent movie. Hard to say, because, the precogs, they actually, in some way, they actually knew what was happening, but then there was a bad guy who found a way to kind of trick them and to do some corrupt stuff. And I forget exactly how it plays out at the end. It's been a while since I've seen it, but certainly an excellent movie.
Okay, well, anyway, if you think of some more, Blake, feel free to toss them in the comments section afterward. But we were just going to pose this quick question to our listeners.
For Vendetta is another, I kind of think of that as like the 1984 of our generation. Fantastic movie. I don't know, can we say even The Matrix? Because in their reality, they're all plugged in. They're all batteries, basically, and living in a computer-simulated world. So, but the actual reality is them, all plugged in fields of people, computers running the earth.
Now, I don't want to assume, but is it possible that you were able to see my V for Vendetta Halloween pictures from yesterday?
I did not. No, I don't get on Facebook much. Is that where you posted them?
I keep a private account, but you're logged in there. I'll have to shoot you one real quick because it was fun. V for Vendetta going out there. In West Hollywood, there are 500,000 people. They close off all the streets and have like this big party. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, nice.
But it was cool because like I had people coming up to me like. Yeah, man, that's a cool costume. He's like, man, that's a great movie, and I'm in Anonymous. And these people, I had really interesting conversations with people just coming out of nowhere because the hacktivist group Anonymous, they've kind of co-opted this thing, and to me, the Guy Fawkes mask isn't necessarily about Guy Fawkes or blowing up British Parliament. It's not about Anonymous. It's not about anything in particular other than standing up for right and fighting for your rights. like the Beastie Boys, Fight for Your Right to Party. But a little bit more serious. But yeah, I mean, it was really cool because it's a bit of a magnet to attract interesting conversation to you. And had a lot of people wanted to pose and take pictures with me. Tried to act as creepy as possible, even though he's not a creepy character. But yeah, anyway, I digress. V for Vendetta as well. So if you think about any more, go ahead and check it out. Leave some comments on there, Blake. Otherwise, I want to hit reset. And if you could pull up, maybe just a couple of your favorites. We try to do this top news story extravaganza, bonanza, buffet, fiesta, siesta, what have you, kind of deal when we're on your program. And we've kind of been tweaking with this idea of the show Agree to Disagree to be, part of a weekly recap, since I really only do the show once a week, unless it's crazy, ridiculous breaking news, and I'll jump in and do other programming. But really, I sent you this message the other day. I think I sent you the text yesterday, Blake, but you were killing it. You had so many good articles with so many good points illustrated. I was listening to your program from Thursday, and I just thought it was great. So really, for anybody that's not linked up with Blake, he's really one of my favorite researchers. You do put in the time, you do scour the bowels of the internet. Like, who says that? The Weasel Zippers or something? One of those websites. But
probably, yeah. I've seen their stuff, yeah.
But you actually do. I mean, you're really putting the time in. You're making it happen. And that's why I like having you on the program, so we can kind of just sift through the week's news and just if people haven't been paying too much attention, I like to be a one-stop shop where they can do so. So if you're not following Blake, please do that. He's on Twitter. He's at eccentric99. Check out his homepage, eccentricperspective.com. There's some good archived videos and stories on there. He does his show, Eccentric Perspective, every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from noon to 1:30 p.m. Pacific on freedomizerradio.com. So link up with Blake, and if you haven't checked us out, we're at thenewamericanmedia.com. On Facebook, search The New American Media with spaces in between and like our page. On Twitter, we are at American_media_. And YouTube, youtube.com/The New American Media. So answer the question, what is your favorite horror flick? And by horror, I mean a dystopian nightmare. A dystopian nightmare future. Is it Terminator, Jericho, Minority Report, The Road, The Stand, the Stephen King miniseries that came out?
Do that, yeah.
So whatever it is, leave your comments down here, because, trick or treat, the future's here. What do we want? We want drones in the sky. We want pre-crime divisions. Do we want to be plugged into the internet to the point where what's real and what's not? It's here. So anyway, take a quick break, come back on the other side. Blake, I want you to get into just a couple of these. I mean, you were just killing it on the Obamacare stuff, and it really is shooting fish in a barrel. So maybe I shouldn't be giving you so many kudos, Blake, but I'm just kidding. You deserve the kudos.
No worries. It's no, there's a ton of Obamacare news. It's been unbelievable. So it's only been a month since it rolled out, and you know what? No. We'll get back to it. Yeah. There's so many different stories. It's hard to just pick one, but we'll run through and then piece by piece.
Well, let me ask you real quick. Did you see the report about what was it in the first week? The internal memos are showing that they only had 6 people sign up nationwide. Did you see? Did you see that one?
Yeah, that's all over. Yeah, CBS ran that report. I think it got leaked by Daryl Ice. Megyn Kelly was ripping into that pretty good. So that's a big deal. It's like 6 people. They need to average something like 39,000 people a day, every day through March 1st, I believe, in order to keep that. Yeah, in fact, here I do have one article on my board.
Okay, all right. Well, then hold on. Let's hold it for a second. And this is leaked by Cheryl Atkinson. She was one that they claimed her laptops had been hacked and all of her data had been. Remember when all that stuff was happening?
Oh, absolutely.
James
she's
Rosen,
one of the real mainstream reporters out there. Yes, and she's been working aggressively on Benghazi and Fast and Furious. So yeah, she had her computer was hacked into. Her computer would turn on in the middle of the night. Yeah, big deal. So she's actually a real reporter out there, doing a fantastic job, and she works for the mainstream.
And what is that? I saw one of these memes on Facebook or something. It's like this old man, and he says, whistleblower. Son, back in my day, we called them journalists. And I was like, oh yeah, I like this. We got to redefine the conversation here. But we'll do that on the other side of the break. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back, and we're going to dig into Obamacare. Good.
You are listening to the New American Media.